One of the areas that this firm has really flourished in is in the area of M&A, mergers and acquisitions related litigation. We recently had a case in California, and it involved a merger of two companies. And we represented one of the parties that no longer wanted to go through with the merger. And there was a hearing being held on whether or not the court would go forward and order what's called specific performance, require these two companies to effectively merge. And I stood up during the hearing in opposing this a request for a preliminary injunction, and I made the very common sense point. And I said, Your Honor, forcing these two institutions into a true merger where you're going to merge all of these employees, assets, the customer bases, where one of the two parties clearly doesn't want to merge, has very deep concerns about the other institution, I said was like a forced marriage for an eternity, and that it would be incredibly unfair and unjust and just completely unworkable on a practical level to force these two institutions to effectively be in a forced marriage for eternity. And so I approached this from a very common sense standpoint. And I made the judge understand that what was being requested here was extraordinary. This wasn't simply the acquisition of the stock of another company, but literally a forced marriage, a union of these two institutions for eternity. And fortunately, that argument had resonance. We received an opinion in our favor, finding for our client.